Hi, Maggie Harding here today for Eileen Hall Designs. And today I am recycling some pages that I cut to make a notebook journal. Um, you see the paper are going two different directions and I don't like that. So I'm just going to mix media them and get on with it. So today I want to show you how or what I'm going to do. And this is a free-for-all. Haven't planned it out, so we'll see what happens as we go along. I am using some Wendy Vecchi embossing paste from Studio 490. I've already done the front cover, now I want to do the back. I'm not doing the whole thing, just kind of random here and there. So there we go. So now we need to let that dry. While that dries, I'm going to go wash this off. Be right back. So while that continues to dry, let me show you the dye that I've used. It's called the journal dye, and it makes this journal, and the pages are about 9 inches by 4.5. Now, if you're going to put paper on your journal, you want to do it before you cut it out. Let me show you. I'm going to take a piece of mat board, then you want to apply adhesive sheet to this, and then you want to place your paper over top of it, and then you want it to run through your die. That way your paper is firmly adhered and scored and cut, and this part works really well. If you don't do it that way, when you bend it here, your paper is going to tear, and you're not going to have a nice clean line like I've got here. So I recommend that you put your paper on first and then die cut it. And if you're doing both sides like I've done here, put paper on both sides before die cutting. So if you're using mixed media on your covers, you want to be sure that you let it dry completely before you try to put them together. Otherwise, the adhesive that you're using is not going to stick well and it will pull apart. So these are dry. Now I'm going to take some crackle paste. And I'm just going to go here. And you know that the thicker you put it on, the more crackle you get. I happen to be using clear crackle texture paste, but you can use most any kind you want. Even crackle accents from Ranger works really well for giving a nice crackle finish. Now, to get your best crackle look, you really need to let this dry, air dry, rather than using a heat gun. It will crackle if you heat dry it with a heat gun, but it doesn't turn out as well. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll see you later. Okay, the cover is dry now, and so I'm going to take a little bit of Lindy's Mist. This is Golden Lump Coal, and I have a dabber top on it instead of a spray top. I'm just going to go over this area where I put the crackle paste and just kind of add some aging, some color, go around the edges completely. Then I'm going to take a damp baby wipe, kind of take up the excess. Okay, so that mist has a lot of gold in it. So now what I want to do, I just put a little bit of black gesso here. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Uh-oh. I'm going to paint some black on here, just a little. I'm going to keep my baby wipe here close at hand to pick up excess. I don't want it too dark, but I want to tone the gold down just a little. Now I'm going to spray a little black mist on here, just a little. Okay, I have this cardboard strip here that I have inked with some black and some brown distress ink. And I'm going to glue this design paper. It's from Stamperia. Looks like a little bookmark, and I'm going to glue that onto the cardboard. In fact, I think I'll glue the cardboard down first. So just make a mark here so I know where I'm going. Now I've got another one I'm going to put over here. Okay. So I'm just going to ink this up real good with black distress ink. Now I'm going to take a metal flower and transform it a bit. I'm using some distress embossing ink. I'm just going to squirt a little bit over here. And I'm going to take a small paintbrush. I'm just going to paint a little bit onto this metal flower. I'm going to take some Stampendous Aged Gold embossing enamel, sprinkle all around it. Now I'm going to heat emboss this, but I need to let my heat gun warm up a little bit before I start heating it, otherwise all of the embossing powder will blow off. Remember, these are hot because they are metal. Okay, now I've got this flourish here. Remember these? I haven't used one of these in a long time, but I think they're kind of cool. I especially like this one because it's metal. And now we have our metal flowers, which I can put on here. I'm going to use some E6000 to glue them, which E6000 is a metal glue. I'm also going to use a little bit of hot glue to hold them in place while the E6000 sets up. Oh, let's add a few black spatters. I have some Metallique Wax Prima Vintage Gold. Just try this. Yeah, that's what I want. Just gonna add some gold highlights here and there. Okay, to put this together, I'm going to use some score tape, and I'm using the back cover and placing 1/4 inch score tape down the spine where the first set of holes are. trick with score tape, of course, is you want to be sure you burnish it down good. Okay. And that's all there is to it. Press it down firmly, and there you go. Okay, let's string it. I'm going to take, I don't know. Let's see. About 3.5 yards of elastic. It's fairly narrow. I got this from Amazon. Thick works. You want to start with this hole on the left side. Pull your thread through. Go through the bottom hole. Go back into the center hole at the bottom. Go into the center hole. Come back up in the top right hole. Go back down in the bottom right hole. Come back through the center bottom hole. And need a little more elastic. Let's see. Then the one that's left at the top, go back through the center middle hole. Easier said than done, apparently. That's not supposed to be hard. There you go. And then you want to pull it so that it's fairly snug and tie a square knot in the center. Take those threads through this center hole. Now for my closure, I'm going to use a button. I'm going to use some seam binding. It's a little bit tricky to do, but not too bad. First thing I'm going to do is thread this ribbon through the button. Okay. Then I'm going to thread one of these elastic bands through here. And I'm going to tie the button onto the spine. There we go. See how easy that is? Then you can just pull your ribbon through however you need it and tie it.